Skyrim was the first ever RPG I played, and back when I was still in school, I loved the idea of wizards, mages, and arcane characters in general. Heck, I even tried writing my own short stories about magic and the arcane, but none of them were any good. So you can believe me when I say, I started playing Skyrim just to become a wizard. My first character was a spell-slinging Nord with no armor and just the apprentice robes you find at the beginning of the game. I had high expectations when I started playing the Winterhold Questline, and even on a first playthrough, I was left wanting more. And the more I played this questline, the gaps of it became bolder to me. Today's video will be about the Winterhold Questline. In this video, I'll be going over the plot of the game, and I will try to break down the elements that I think work and don't work for this questline. This video is narratively critical, so if you enjoy this questline, just note that this is not me trying to take away something that you like. It is simply my opinion. With that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
There is much for Gisargo to be sure of. There is skill in magic, there is charm, and there is a strong will. Gisargo will be successful.
Your journey in Skyrim starts at the gates of the infamous College of Winterhold, where you're stopped and tested for your arcane abilities. You pass a very simple test, and you're escorted inside the college. As soon as you enter, however, you notice two people bickering and arguing. Ancano is a Thalmor advisor who's been stationed in the Winterhold to keep an eye on the college, and the woman he's arguing with is Mirabelle, the second in command after the Archmage. Their argument ends with Ancano storming away in frustration. It is then that Mirabelle notices you and gives you a tour of the place before sending you off to your first class, which be it is an actual class where you learn magic. But don't get your hopes up. It is the last and only one on the whole quest line. After the class ends, you are told to meet Tolfdir in Sarthal, where college is doing some excavation and research on some old Nordic ruins. And up to this point, I love the Winterhold questline. You go around learning new spells, helping with research inside Sarthal, and the game truly makes you feel like an actual student. Until in Sarthal, you pick up a random amulet off the wall, and the main plot of Winterhold is kicked into gear.
What in the world was that racket? Is everything all right? How in the world did that happen? Really? Perhaps the amulet is important somehow. Do you see that?
You destroy the wall and a whole new part of the dungeon is open to you, until everything around you goes still. Time freezes in place and you come face to face with a man that says he's from the Psijic Order.
Know that you have set in motion a chain of events that cannot be stopped. This warning is passed to you because the Psijic Order believes in you. You, mage, and you alone, have the potential to prevent disaster.
You see, the Psijic Order is an ancient order of wizard monks that focus on the school of mysticism. They're extremely powerful, and their island, Arteum, appears and disappears every few hundred years. But I digress. The rest plays out like a normal Nordic dungeon until you finish the dungeon and you find the most amazing artifact. You can't explain what it is, but Tolfdir sends you to inform the Archmage of this discovery. And from the get-go, Savos, the Archmage, is a very passive character. He's always reading a book and never seems or sounds interested in anything that you do. But he's a character that has somewhat of a justification for being like that, but more so on that later.
Please don't tell me that another one of the apprentices has been incinerated. I have enough to deal with right now. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Tolfdir normally looks after your little group, yes? Since he's apparently occupied, and I will need to see this discovery for myself, I think perhaps you should begin researching the subject. Speak with Urag in the Arcanium. See if he's aware of anything that matches your discovery.
When you're making your way to the library to fetch some books for him, you get stopped by Ancano, who starts nagging you about why didn't you come to him with this new discovery. Like, brother, you've been sent here to literally spy, so why don't you come to Sarthal? If that is the college's main area for excavation and research, Ancano should be spending most of his time there. But regardless, you go to Urag and you realize that the books you're looking for are not in the college's massive library. No, apparently a mage by the name of Orthorn had them before he ran off with a group of rogue mages and joined their made-up college in Falglow Keep. So in a nutshell, on your first day, you are told to go into a keep filled with rogue mages and kill all of them and retrieve the books. And I repeat, this is all in your first day. And you do just that. Also, while replaying this questline and making this video, I learned a lot of things about Winterhold. For example, if you free Orthorn and instead of dismissing him, we take him to the last boss, you'll get this unique ending to the quest.
Come here, kill my assistants, disrupt my work. Oh, I'm afraid we're well beyond pleasantries. An arrangement, after you've destroyed so much. Fine, leave me the elf. You may go with your books.
Wait, what?
He gets the books, I get you. It's very simple.
But why?
This little adventure of yours has cost me a number of test subjects. I need more, and you...
I didn't take the deal myself. Instead, I went behind her and mass paralysis the hell out of her and got the books and escaped. You hand the books to Tolfdir, and you and Tolfdir start observing the eye together. This is a good scene again that makes you feel like a student, observing a master of the craft breaking down things he understands. However, in the middle of the explanation, Ancano interrupts you and tells you that a Psijic monk is waiting for you upstairs, and he doesn't sound pleased. You see, there's a lot about Ancano and the choices he makes that makes no sense to me. The game doesn't try to present him in an intimidating or dangerous way. Instead, he's a pushy character that tries to act in control. And this behavior shows itself right here. You meet with the Psijic mage as he stops time and talks to you. He warns you of how dangerous the eye is and tells you to find the Augur of Dunlain. I don't know why the Psijics didn't give you another vision and they had to show up here, but I'm not gonna dwell on that too much. And when that dialogue ends, instead of Ancano forcing the mage to stay or show some control, he just escorts him out while complaining that no one listens to him or takes him seriously. To be fair, he is shown to be resourceful further down in the questline, but because he has come off as this sort of character from the beginning, he never feels like a real threat. The game could have established his resourcefulness from way before. Like in the beginning, we already saw him arguing with Mirabelle and being pushy, so the groundwork was there for him to interject himself in our field trip to Sarthal. And then he could have insisted on staying with the Eye while pushing us and Tolfdir to go speak with Savos. There were a lot of things that could have been done to make him seem less like a villain with control issues and more of a smart and cunning villain that thinks and plans ahead. But regardless, you go searching for the Augur of Dunlain, you ask around, and everyone's response is odd. They either shut you down or tell you that they don't want to involve themselves with this matter.
Oh, no, that won't do at all. Not my problem, not even a little. Take it to Tolfdir. He's supposed to be looking after you lot.
What? The Augur? Oh no, I'm quite sure that's... He's nothing I'm involved in. No. Mirabelle Irvine, or Tolfdir.
That's nothing you need to concern yourself with.
And it's not until you ask Tolfdir where you get some concrete answers. He speaks of the Augur as if you're talking about an old friend in a reminiscing tone. You're told to go to the Midden, which is basically the dark and frozen basement of Winterhold, where you can find literal skeletons in the college's closet. You'll find Daedric artifacts and more than a few mobs down there. I just don't know why Tolfdir would allow a new student to go there looking for the Augur. You finally find the Augur. Instead of seeing an old wise wizard, you see this.
I am that which you have been seeking. Your efforts are in vain. It has already begun.
I really like that it's never clarified what kind of creature the Augur is. It kind of adds to the mystery, but if you really want to know, Camelworks has done a full deep dive into what he is, and I think that video is amazing. I'll link it in the description below. The Augur tells you that Ancano has managed to find him before you, and that he had been asking similar questions. The Augur urges you to find the Staff of Magnus, and he also urges you to tell this to Savos. But as soon as you bring this up to Savos, he denies the existence of such a thing. Ultimately, he brushes you off and tells you to go talk to Mirabelle about this matter. Mirabelle doesn't know where it is either, but she does mention that some wizards from Cyrodiil had come to the college asking about it, so she gives you a lead to a Dwemer dungeon named Unresolved.
Crystal. Gone. Find Paratus. Inoculary.
You go through a very normal and long Dwemer dungeon until you reach the end.
Gavros, is that you? I'd almost given up hope. Let me get the door. What the? Who are you? Where's Gavros? What are you doing here? What have you done with Gavros?
You find another mage on the other side of the door, the friend of the same person you saw die at the start. Apparently, he had been trying to solve this Dwemer puzzle. I'm not going to go fully over who these guys are, but the bullet points are, they are a group of mages called the Synod, who were created after the Mages Guild was disbanded in the 4th era, and they came up here to study Dwemer machinery. Their plotline and involvement in the questline starts and ends right here. We never hear about them again, and that's that. You solve a puzzle, and boom, you're given a map of Skyrim where the magic is strongest. One is at the college where the eye is stored, and the other is in the Labyrinthian, the old capital of Nords, back in the good old dragon cult days. You rush to get the staff, but once more the air around you goes still. Time stops moving and a Psijic monk is in front of you. He urges you to run back to the college. You go back and see Ancano's going crazy. Ancano's gone off the rails and he's trying to use the eye's power to control the college. As cool as this scene is, it is never explained what Ancano is really doing or what do his actions accomplish. For all we know, he could bury all of Winterhold in the college into the Sea of Ghosts with that much loose magicka. From a plot standpoint, what he does is never fully explained or elaborated on, so we just have to accept it. You confront Ancano, but he pushes everyone off. The screen goes white. The next you open your eyes, Mirabelle is on the floor, Savos is dead, and the city of Winterhold is being attacked by odd magical entities. Again, nothing is explained about what these things are or what they mean, but I digress. After dealing with everything, Mirabelle stops you and tells you that Savos left something for you, and it's the key to the Labyrinthian. Why did Savos have this key? We're about to find out. As soon as you walk in, you start seeing echoes or memories of this place. You see Savos and his college friends, all young and ready to explore this dungeon they had just found. The thing about this part, however, is with each trial you pass, you see these echoes again, and with each echo you notice Savos has less friends around him, and every time they decide to go back, Savos is arguing and pushing them on.
We have to go back. We can't leave Gerdwin.
We barely made it out alive. You want to go back in?
It's too late. There isn't enough of him left to go back in after.
Gods, what have we done?
We can't go back. Might as well go forward. We can still do this.
Savos is right. We can make it if we just stay alert.
While looking out for these echoes and finding enemies, you start hearing a second voice. The voice calls you Savos at first, thinking you're him, but after a while, it realizes the truth.
Language of yours. You are not our liar. Has he sent you in his place?
Your last echo is the echo of Savos and two of his friends. They're the only ones left. You walk into the room and you see the horror. A dragon priest holds the staff of Magnus, but he's inside a prison. Savos most likely knew he nor neither of his friends could best the dragon priest, so he enthralled both of them and bound their souls to imprison the dragon priest for eternity. Now this part is very interesting. I think all these flashbacks and everything we witnessed was meant to serve as some sort of justification for how Savos is as a character. Even though you have to squint very hard to see it, you can roughly stitch up Savos being a man ridden with guilt for the horror he committed, so he becomes avoidant and detached from everything. And also knowing this, his refusal to tell us anything about the staff of Magnus somewhat makes sense. I still think there were better ways to handle this and his character in general, but this quest line doesn't give you a lot, and I will take any characterization I can get out of it. You're not even a week into the college yet you deal with the thralls and the dragon priest. Obviously, you grab the staff and walk out. But before you exit, you see Savos' echo one last time.
Sorry. I had no choice. It was the only way to make sure that monster never escaped. I promise you, I'll never let this happen again. I'll seal this whole place away.
You're about to exit when this fool decides to show up. I don't know why he thinks fighting a guy who just killed the dragon priest is a good idea, but he tries. Here, when you go back to the college, you see that the situation has gotten worse, and Mirabelle is dead. I absolutely hate this moment, because Mirabelle was one of the few characters that we actually got to know and cared for throughout the story. She was the one who gave us the tour, and she was one of the characters that could have told you about the Augur of Dunlain. It is a shame that she got killed off screen. They could have shown her death further down on our fight with Ancano, and that would have made it more meaningful. You break the barrier with the staff, you get inside Ancano's defenses and start fighting him. He uses mass paralysis spell on everyone and has a proper one-on-one with you. You best him with the power of the staff, finally kill him, then the Psijics show up, thank you, take the eye, and explain nothing. Oh, also you become an archmage by the end of the quest. And that's the story of Winterhold. I think the reason Winterhold is the worst questline in Skyrim is not because it is always bad. No, that's the Bard's College. But it's because of the expectations it builds and what it could have been. I'm not throwing any shade at any writer in Bethesda. I understand that game development is very tricky and sometimes things have to be cut, but I just wanted more from this quest. The themes and the mystery the game sets up and explores are good, but when it comes to delivering them, it falls short. There are good parts that I absolutely love. The first lesson, Savos' past, heck, even exploring the Midden. I also love that when you max out any magical skill tree, you get a special quest from the master of that branch. And that could have been an amazing setup for you becoming the Archmage. Because other than the main quest, Winterhold has so many side content. There's the Pirate Daedra, there's finding the books for Urag, enchanting missions, heck, there's even lectures given at certain times in the college that I just figured out right now while recording this video. But regardless, if you enjoy Winterhold, that's amazing. I'm not here to take away something that you like. This is simply my take on a questline that I thought could have been so much more. I was your host, the Ashen Mage, and see you next time.
Oh, but you are wrong. The only reason you could disagree is because you are losing so badly you cannot see it.